Good evening and welcome to Nationwide. I'm Naja Atutijani. Thanks for joining us. 2 persons feared dead and goods worth millions of naira destroyed in a petrol tanker fire which occurred in the early hours of Sunday at the railway crossing axis of Lafenwa Market in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Lukman Adefeso's report is here presented.
Eyewitnesses accounts say the explosion occurred when the fully loaded petroleum tanker fell while navigating the Lafenwa Ayitoro Bend, spilling its contents on the road. Some residents of the area, including hoodlums, took advantage of the spilled content to scoop fuel while making rescue operations difficult for emergency responders. A trader in the market and her granddaughter, who are said to have arrived early for trading activities, were burnt beyond recognition in the incident.
All this fire is spoil everything for this market because all the money, if they calculate the money, it reach 5 billion naira.
There were some hoodlums, they were disturbing the fire services because they didn't allow them to do their job, which makes the case to get worse like this.
Officials of the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency TRACE, as well as other stakeholders, worked tirelessly to contain the situation.
Apparently from a place, maybe there was a spark, I can't confirm that now, but there was fire. And all we had to do was to cordon off the place. First, to ensure that miscreants did not take advantage of the situation.
We've cordoned off the road. Don't know what happened, maybe scooping or whatever. Lifeless 2 bodies on ground were trapped inside their shops.
I deployed my men to the scene of the fire. Unfortunately, the hoodlum did not allow us to perform our duty. So they attacked our vehicle. The vehicle has already been damaged. All my men has been brutalized.
Efforts were still ongoing to transload the remaining content of the ill-fated tanker and remove the debris of the tanker for free flow of vehicular movement around the area.
The Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP, says it is providing training to prevent illegal refining of crude oil. This is to ensure that the ongoing remediation in oil spill impacted areas does not become an exercise in futility. This came to light when the House Committee on Host Communities engaged HYPREP. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The interaction between the committee and management of HYPREP centered on projects being undertaken in areas that suffered environmental pollution due to oil spill. The HYPREP delegation brought documents on the various projects being undertaken in Ogoni land, which under the batch 1 and 2 of the first phase cover 50 various projects.
We are focusing also at artisanal refiners. If we cannot stop illegal refining activities, then to restore and to remediate mangrove areas will be excessive futility because they will be impacted soon after they have been cleaned.
The committee, after a scrutiny of the document, says it will embark on physical assessments.
We have had HYPREP. Let us visit the community one by one, and then we call the community people and ask them, this your area, can you plant something on it now?
I'm worried that even the phase 1, batch 1, up till now, we still have some of the projects uncompleted. And I think the committee will be interested in knowing exactly what the terms of this contract were.
HYPREP we hope to see and we hope to work with is a HYPREP that is going to be prepared to play by the rules of engagement. It's not the HYPREP that any politician or any group of persons will turn around to come and say you must do it this way and all of that. This has to do with the life of a people. And we want to see that it is pursued to a logical conclusion.
Some remediation projects have been completed and certified by the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency from the National Assembly. Lami Ali, NTA News.
Following the recent significant improvement in the security situation across Zamfara state, telecommunication services are to be restored in all parts of the state, latest by Tuesday next week. Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad stated this while addressing APC chieftains and delegates at the State Congress of the party held in Gusau. Jamilu Ibrahim reports.
The telecommunication networks were shut down in Zamfara state about 3 months ago as part of strategies to stem the tide of armed bandits and their collaborators terrorizing the state. Though the telecom services resumed in the state capital Gusau in October this year, the suspension has persisted in other 30 local government areas of the state. Addressing the APC chieftains and delegates at the State Congress of the party held in Gusau, Governor Bello Muhammad says, having observed a tremendous improvement in the security situation, the telecommunication services will be resumed in all parts of the state, latest by Tuesday, 30th November 2021. He says the state government is also planning to reopen all the weekly markets across the state in due course. On the state APC Congress, the governor described the process as transparent and hitch-free, stressing the need for all APC members in the state to join hands towards strengthening the unity and progress of the party. The Congress was held peacefully through consensus method, as the APC delegates from all the 40 local government areas of the state affirmed the new party executives. Tukur Fulani, Hassan Marafa Damri, and Ibrahim Dangaladima Birna Magaji emerged a new chairman, vice chairman, and secretary respectively, among other 33 executives, to steer the affairs of the party at the state level for the next 4 years. The Congress was conducted by a 5-man committee constituted by the APC National Secretariat, led by Ibrahim Kabiru Masari, 2 former governors of Zamfara State, Ahmad Sani Arima and Mahmoud Ali Shinkafi, as well as some serving and former National and State Assembly members, also graced the event. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Similarly, telecommunication services have been restored in 4 local government areas of Kaduna State, indicating the success in the fight against kidnapping and banditry in the affected areas. Achari Maxwell has details.
Inhabitants of these local government areas have been contending with lack of telecommunication services as a result of government's decision to impose such measures to curtail kidnapping and banditry in the areas. Briefing journalists on the reasons for the restoration of telecommunication services, the State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, said the suspension of mobile networks helped in disseminating kidnappers and bandits. He said security situation has significantly improved, hence the need for government to heed to security advice to restore the services.
The prolonged application of this measure was always out of the question due to its impact on the legitimate activities of citizens and businesses. Residents are advised that the restoration of full services in the affected areas may unfold over a few days as the service providers mobilize to power and boost their transmission systems accordingly.
He said other measures put in place, such as ban on movement of motorcycles, operation of weekly markets, and cutting down of firewood is still in place.
We are also appealing to you to look at the circumstances, to look at the situation that we have found ourselves. This is not a problem that is applicable to Kaduna State alone. No, this is a problem, it's a national problem. But if you look at what we are doing here in Kaduna, you will agree with us that we are doing our best.
Samuel Arwan urged people in the state to continue to support security agencies with relevant information that will assist in addressing security concerns. In Kaduna, Achari Maxwell, NTA News.
Kaduna State government is embarking on the construction of a multi-billion naira interswitch road in the state capital. Governor Aminu Bello Masari, who flagged off the construction work, says provision of infrastructure remains the priority of his administration's restoration agenda in the state. Awal Halliru reports.
The 5.8 billion naira interchange road is the first ever project in the state and is expected to be completed within 12 months. The 2 roads will ensure easy vehicular movement and is expected to alleviate transportation difficulties of commuters on the busy Kofakaura and Kofarekwaya roads in the state capital. Governor Aminu Bello Masari believed that the two inter-switch roads would be beneficial to the people of the state while assuring more roads projects under urban renewal program of his administration.
We are also considering constructing a new road that will cut right in the middle of the old city. All within this, our periods.
The state government, according to the Commissioner for Works, Housing and Transport, Tasu Dahir Dandagoro, initiated and completed various roads across the state, including feeder roads, to open up predominantly farming communities for rural development. 70% of the project sum has been paid to the contracting firm to ensure that quality work is executed within the stipulated time. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Rotary District 9125 says this is the best time to support the government in the fight against contemporary security challenges confronting Nigeria. This was at the District Joint Foundation dinner in Abuja. Hamman Jabani reports.
Rotary District 9125 and partners in its joint foundation dinner in Abuja recommended that government should declare war on banditry and seek assistance and advice from international communities.
Thousands, millions of Nigerians roaming the street all over the world. These are the first line of defense, the first set of people you bring into your security architecture. We don't need to wear uniform, but war can be used in ways.
And more businesses come on stream in the economy, there will be more employment, there will be more prosperity. And hopefully that will mitigate and reduce the kind of insurgency you are getting.
We discovered that there's a lot of issues that are around the children, the schools, and the best thing for Rotary to do is concentrate more on the children, on the school.
The district honored former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Theophilus Danjuma, Governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, and other Nigerians for their contribution to Rotary and call for more support to provide the needed assistance to communities and the world at large. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Still on security, NDLEA intercepts hard drugs smuggled into Lagos. Details of this and more as we join Adiola in Lagos. Hello, Adiola.
Hello, Najatu. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has seized large pallets of hard drugs weighing over 12,385 kilograms smuggled into Lagos across the coastal area. The seizure of illicit substances led to the arrest of 3 suspects. Abolade Salami reports.
The zero-tolerance approach to drug abuse embarked on by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency is not handled with kid gloves, as operatives of the agency, through credible intelligence, intercepted over 12,000 kilograms of cannabis sativa smuggled through the waterways into Lagos from the West African country. After due surveillance on the coastal area, officers and men of the agency carefully monitored movement of the illegal consignment ferried through Atlantic Beach, Victoria Island, from where they would be distributed to drug hotspots. This was, however, not made possible, as over 50 officers stormed their hideouts and recovered the illegal substances, with the arrest of 3 persons. The agency has vowed not to relent in its efforts until the drug supply and demand reduction target is achieved. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
The Nigerian Railway Corporation is on the verge of activating an e-ticketing platform for passengers navigating through the Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor. This development is expected to ease the pressure associated with booking as well as check ticket racketeering. Michael Olaleye reports.
An unusual rush during a recent festive period resulted in the activation of an emergency trip from Lagos to Ibadan. At the heart of this challenge is the problem of not having an online platform to monitor the number of tickets booked vis-a-vis spaces available on board the train. This is the presentation of the outline business case certificate by the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, a document necessary to bring on stream the e-ticketing platform. Having inaugurated a platform on the Abuja-Kaduna train service in January this year, the NRC sees the move as imperative in checking overbooking, reducing costs, and other challenges.
From the luxury of your home, from your room, from your office, you can log on, buy your ticket, and reduce the amount of human interface between the customer and ourselves.
In order to achieve transparency and boost integrity in the process for the award of contracts of the e-ticketing platform, an open bidding exercise was conducted.
We have a good number to look at, and that is the kind of competition that we're expecting. That we have a lot of bids that they can really compete amongst themselves, so that government will have value for money at the end of the day. The project can be handled by the party that has both technical and financial capability to deliver the.
There are plans to commence the usage of the electronic ticketing platform on the Lagos-Ibadan and Warri-Takpe rail lines next year, and this is going to be impactful in the quest to increase the number of round trips. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
We shall go on a first break now, but when we return, it's back to Niger in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has announced 58 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria, bringing the total of confirmed cases in the country to 213,982. In the new state chart breakdown, Imo State tops the list with 27 new cases, while Lagos and Rivers States are next with 9 new cases each. Kaduna State has 3 new cases, and Bayelsa, the FCT, Kano, and Niger have 2 new cases each, with Bauchi and Plateau States at a tie with 1 new case each. With this latest figure, the number of discharged cases now stands at 207,184, while the death toll is 2,975. Still on the health scene, 2 persons have been confirmed dead, while 9 persons have tested positive for cholera in Ikang-Bakassi local government area of Cross River State, occasioned by an outbreak of the disease in Cameroon, which shares its border with the community. To prevent further spread of the disease, the state government and other stakeholders are carrying out sensitization campaign in the local government area. Paul Abel reports.
Cholera is a waterborne disease spread by contaminated food or water, which causes acute diarrhea, and if left untreated, it can lead to death. With deaths already recorded in this riverine border community, the need to embark on vigorous sensitization on prevention methods such as regular hand washing, avoiding open defecation, the use of water from reliable sources, and the maintenance of good environmental hygiene are being emphasized. The people were also urged to report suspected cases to appropriate health facilities to check the spread of cholera.
For the last 2 weeks, we have been going around Bakassi, carrying out surveillance. So far, we've been able to get about 9 cases. Some of them tested positive to RDT, and then the others, when we went on further investigation, still turned out positive. We've lost about 2 of them presently, and we're hopeful that we don't lose anyone else to cholera.
I will usually come out to make sure I throw my support behind any government, state or federal government health initiative, provided it is aimed at saving the life of my people.
WHO is supporting the coordination of the outbreak. We are supporting with providing some logistics and commodities to manage the treatment of suspected and confirmed cases.
The campaign took the team to various markets and other locations in the local government area. From Ekang, Bakassi local government area of Cross River State, I am Paul Abel, NTA News.
Thank you, Paul. Meanwhile, facts surrounding a newspaper publication alleging the death of 205 animals resulting from starvation at the Imo State Zoological Garden are beginning to emerge. Chukwuke Chukwu, who visited the zoo on a fact-finding mission, brings us details.
Imo State Zoological Gardens was established in 1976 and sits on 10 hectares of reserved forest, which houses a variety of animals. Recently, however, a publication on the zoo went viral with stories alleging neglect by the Imo State government, which, according to the writer, resulted in the death of over 250 animals due to starvation. This prompted a visit by the NTA News to the zoo, led by the Commissioner for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Uche Oya. The commissioner, who was obviously displeased with the publication, described the allegation raised as false.
It was when I went to the zoo that I found that there had been some swine flu of some sort that affected some of our pigs. But these are domestic animals kept for feeding the animals in the zoo. These are two different things we're talking about. As for the animals in the zoo, well, unless an animal dies a natural death or something happens, but as for the kind of impression created by those publications, it's nowhere near the truth at all.
The Imo State government is really trying to feed the lion here. We have up to 28 goats by November 2021. So we use those goats to feed the lions.
The state government has assured that the road to the zoo, which suffered an ecological problem, is receiving attention. In Owerri, Chukwubike Chukwu, NTA News.
Nationwide continues in our Sokoto Network Center with Nana. It's over to you, Nana.
Thank you, Najatu. Welcome to Sokoto. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol has called on the federal and state governments to work towards addressing the challenges of medical tourism and brain drain among medical personnel in the country. Tambol made the call while receiving the leadership of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria on a courtesy visit at Government House, Sokoto. Dalhatu Abdullahi has the report.
The leadership of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria is in Sokoto to assess the conduct of the medical and dental examinations hosted for the first time by the Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto. 856 medical and dental candidates came to Sokoto from across the country to participate in the professional examinations. While extolling the proper hosting of the examination by the Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, Chairman of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Professor Abba Waziri Hassan, expressed concern on the rate of medical tourism and brain drain in the country.
Because of lack of functional equipment and poor condition of service. There is issue of differential payment between doctors in states and that of the federal service, resulting in internal brain drain.
He added that the council will soon establish its zonal office in Sokoto and requests for the support of state government to accomplish the plan. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol said he had for long been worried on the future of medical care in the country as professionals are curious to get opportunities of getting employed in other parts of the world.
So it's important for both federal and state governments to really look at the condition of service of medical workers so that we can reduce the exit of many of our best brains and best hands.
Sokoto state government, he noted, had taken bold steps toward addressing such challenges in the near future. Tambol pledges support to the council to establish its zonal office in Sokoto. In Sokoto, Dalat Abdullahi, NTA News.
Sokoto State Government has inaugurated an 11-man state road safety advisory council for the National Road Safety Strategy, with a pledge to provide ambulances for the success of the program. The council was inaugurated by the Sokoto State Deputy Governor, Muhammad Munir Iya, at the Government House, Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports.
The State Council is to be chaired by Sokoto State Deputy Governor Munir Muhammad NTA, with State Commissioners of Health, Works and Transport, Environment, Justice, and Sector Commander Federal Road Safety Corps, as well as Commissioner of Police, among others, as members. It is aimed at setting up the state road safety strategy to coordinate between the state and local governments in achieving the target, as well as to ensure state representation at the National Working Group, among other responsibilities for the successful implementation of the program at the national level.
The action to the increase of incidents of road trafficking crashes being recorded day in, day out. This working document is set of in line with the global best practice on road safety management.
The strategy document 2021 to 2030 should therefore be implemented by the technical working group up to the local government level, up to local government area level, to enable us to attain our primary objective of minimizing road traffic crashes in the state.
The State Road Safety Advisory Council is a product of federal government policy on National Road Safety Strategy Blueprint in line with the global practices. It is expected to be implemented within the period of 10 years from 2021 to 2030 across the country. This Sokoto, Shu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Well, that's it for us here in Sokoto. Nationwide continues with Najatu in Abuja. Thank you.
Thank you, Nana. To education matters now, Borno State Government has inaugurated the 30-classroom government technical secondary school at Wuyo Village in Bayo local government area of the state. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum inaugurated the institution with assurance of sustaining such projects across Borno State. Mohammed Goni reports.
Technical Secondary School Wuyo is one of the numerous technical institutions built across the state as part of efforts to create jobs for the teeming youth. Bicycles were also provided to the students from the surrounding villages to ensure punctuality in line with rural access to school policy, in addition to science and technical related textbooks given to them. Students of the institution who received textbooks and bicycles expressed gratitude to the state government for the gesture extended to them. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum directed provision of necessary facilities such as laboratories and workshops, as well as recruitment of technical teachers to ensure successful take-up of Wuyo Technical School and others spread across the state.
Of this administration to establish an educational system that will create wealth, thereby ensuring provision of jobs to teeming youth in our own state.
Commissioner for Education Lawan Abawo Kilbe, who highlighted the giant strides made in the education sector in the last 2 years, expressed commitment to providing quality education, urging the students to utilize the facilities to achieve the purpose intended. Chairman Bayo Local Government Mahmoud Inua Burel and the district head of Wuyo appreciated the governor for establishing the school and other developmental projects in the area, saying the technical school will prepare youth in skill acquisition. Governor Zulum also visited Tahfizul Quran Islamic School, built by the present administration on land provided by Jibwis and newly built residence of district head of Wuyo. In Briel, headquarters of Bayo Local Government, Professor Zulum assured to renovate General Hospital Briel, provide solar power and deploy more medical staff. He also inspected the newly renovated residence of the district head of Briel, where the governor also directed construction of area court complex and Juma Mosque, and further assured residents of more dividends of democracy. From Briel headquarters of Bayo Local Government, Mahmoud Goni, NTA.
Still on development at a regional level, levies by member states still account for about 70% of ECOWAS funds. One of the reasons the regional bloc is appealing to member countries to meet their financial obligations for activities to keep running smoothly. And at a meeting of the ECOWAS Administration and Finance Committee in Abuja, the body also pledged improved support to member countries for COVID-19 recovery in 2021. Kelvin Ewunai reports.
Committee members from member countries evaluated the implementation of the 2021 ECOWAS budget with specific reference to the impact of the various post-COVID-19 support initiatives to member countries. The result, that there is the need to scale up the interventions but raise concerns over the delay in meeting financial obligations by some member countries.
The current management has done all the work for establishing the right legal regulatory frameworks and procedures for our community institutions.
The meeting also considered the 2022 budget of ECOWAS, which the Vice President of the regional bloc, Finda Koroma, noted will focus essentially on sustaining the progress recorded in developmental initiatives across the sub-region, with firm target of the ECOWAS Vision 2050 in sight.
Our private sector is becoming more engaged and is receiving significant support in advancing economic development and integration for our region, especially in the context of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA.
The meeting of the ECOWAS Administration and Finance Committee was the 30th in the series. In Abuja, Kelvin Ebonwaye, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration says arrangements have been concluded to hold the Zuma Film Festival in April 2022. FCTA Permanent Secretary Olushade Adeshola made this known after signing a Memorandum of Understanding with the Nigerian Film Corporation in Abuja. Ifeanyi Izumba reports.
Permanent Secretary, Federal Capital Territory Administration, Olushade Adeshola, revealed that the administration had accommodated the hosting of the festival in its 2022 budget and had resolved to making it historic, adding that the administration was partnering with the corporation to organize the festival as it had the potential of marketing the nation's capital and attracting investments.
One of the landmark accomplishments of today's event is that we are establishing a horizontal relationship, a partnership with the sister agency, the Nigeria Film Village, for the hosting of the Zuma Film Festival.
Managing Director, Nigerian Film Corporation, Chidia Madwekwe, said Abuja was carefully selected to host the festival to showcase the beauty and economic potential of the city to the international community.
To expand their huge export potential of Nigerian, above all, it will also promote FCT and Nigeria as film and a tourism destination in Africa.
The managing director also revealed that the Film Corporation intends to escalate the conversation of establishing a film entrepreneurial hub in the FCT. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Izumba, NT News.
More countries are recording the outbreak of the new Omicron COVID-19 variant, while others have started enforcing necessary restrictions. Charles Alpha reports.
Countries around the world have started restricting travelers from Southern Africa as details of the spread emerges. Early evidence suggests Omicron has a higher reinfection risk. The World Health Organization says the new variant is of great concern, while British Health Minister Sajid Javid said several cases have now been identified in Europe, 2 in UK, 2 in Germany, 1 in Belgium and Italy, while a suspected case was found in Czech Republic. In response to these developments, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced tighter restrictions on people entering the country, as well as compulsory use of face masks from Tuesday. Dutch health authorities say they have detected 61 COVID-19 cases among people who flew in from South Africa, some of whom are of the new Omicron variant. The Dutch health authorities said the cases were discovered among 624 passengers who arrived at Amsterdam airport on 2 flights on Friday. Meanwhile, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa is to address South Africans on the new Omicron strain. First discovered in South Africa, the variant has now been detected in Britain, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Denmark, Belgium, Botswana, Israel, Australia, and Hong Kong. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
For more on COVID-19 updates and other reports, let's join Jenny in our Port Harcourt Network studios for more. Hello, Jenny.
Hello, Najatu. Good evening and welcome. The eagerness of government to eradicate COVID-19 necessitated the directive by the federal government to give December 1 for all civil servants to take their vaccine, given the devastating effects of the pandemic on all spheres of life. These stakeholders say may be done carefully and systematically. Ijeoma Ogweke in this report takes a look at the federal government directives on COVID-19 vaccination and compliance.
Nigeria is taking a cue from other countries of the world in engaging different sections of the populace to establish the safety and effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccine. As expected, the directive has been generating debates and controversies, with some concerned citizens advocating that Nigeria should seek ways to convince the citizenry on the merits of the COVID-19 vaccination while making the vaccines available.
I have taken the first one. The second one, I would have taken the last two, but it's not available. I went to teaching hospital, it's not available. I'm not against people taking it, but let them take it out of conviction.
The government needs to educate people on the vaccinated.
As the ultimatum for all civil servants to receive the COVID-19 vaccine draws nearer, vaccination centers in Rivers State are receiving progressive reports, while there are fears that some are likely to cut corners in order not to be shut out of their offices.
The fact is, once you get your card and you're vaccinated, at the gate, you ought to have a machine, a scanner. Even on your phone, you can use a barcode to scan to show that you've taken.
While the mass COVID-19 vaccination campaign is on in different quarters, emphasis has been placed on compliance, enlightenment, and availability of the vaccines. In Port Harcourt, Ijeoma Ogweke, NTA News.
Has challenged the Nigerian Orthopedic Association to come up with scientific procedures to reduce pains experienced by older people who undergo surgery. Paul Abel reports.
With the theme, The Burden of Geriatric Trauma, different scientific papers, a symposium, and abstracts dwelt on bone issues, causes, trauma, treatment, among others.
What is the basis for existence if at old age pain becomes too much? And as I speak, it reflects on my mother and my dad in their old age. And I begin to fear if I have to get to that 80, 85, when my muscle begins to fail me, my bones begin to fail me. And why would you, as orthopedic surgeons, limit yourself to the current practice? After all, it is calcium and phosphate.
Governor Ayade was commended, recognized, and decorated by the association for his several achievements in developing the state despite its slim financial resources. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Nationwide will continue after the break with Najatu in Abuja.
It's nice to know you're still watching Nationwide, and we're talking party matters now. Some APC faithful in Akwa Ibom State have created a platform called the Union of Progressive Minds, UPM, to rally support for the party in Uyo, where the group and its executives were formally inaugurated. Clement Barikui reports.
Do solemnly swear that I will bear true allegiance to
the 27-member executive of Union of Progressive Minds, UPM, is headed by Ede George as chairman. Executives of senatorial district, federal constituencies, and local government areas were also inaugurated. National chairman of the group, Edet George, says the Union of Progressive Minds is born out of passion to give APC a new strength through stronger membership loyalty.
In 2023, I want to plead that we should mend some of the lapses we witnessed in 2019, so as to great strength to our party, the All Progressive Congress, APC.
Other speakers at the event harp on the need for unity.
We should not duplicate ourselves by belonging to different groups. UPM hold the key
success of ABC in this state. God will use UPM to take our sorrows away.
The Union of Progressive Minds, a support group of the All Progressives Congress, is an amalgamation of 281 other subgroups in the party. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Technology has been identified as a tool for changing the tourism market, increasing reach, enhancing tourism potential, and demanding new skills from entrepreneurs in the sector. The Director General, Nigeria Tourism Development Corporation for Lawrence Koka, made this known at the Southeast Stakeholders Forum in Enugu. Chimaroke Ugu reports.
Tourism is the fulcrum for societal development, which in essence has influenced nations to look inward and develop essential areas for global attraction. It is against this backdrop that an interactive forum for stakeholders of tourism in the Southeast was organized by the National Tourism Development Corporation on utilizing digital tools for optimization and destination marketing. The interactive forum is to enhance digital transformation of tourism and increase the visibility on a global scale to facilitate larger coverage.
The future is driven by technology. Tourism cannot really thrive effectively without the participation of private investors.
Digital transformation has created great opportunities for tourism businesses and destinations.
Some keynote speakers and stakeholders maintain that the digital technology will be instrumental in transforming the tourism sector and increasing its revenue.
Technology drives development. It's very easy for us to use this to showcase our products.
We have so many sellable sites, tourist sites, that are just not explored. Nigeria can make a whole lot of money.
The Director General of the corporation was conferred the chieftaincy title of Eni Ndibo by the Traditional Rulers Council of the Southeast. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
The ongoing construction work at the second Niger bridge has reached advanced stage. Austin Edemodu brings us the latest on the project and its socio-economic impact.
The existing Niger Bridge, a magnificent infrastructure that has over the decades bridged the socio-economic gap from the northern to the southern region of the country. The increasing volume of vehicular traffic on the bridge results in loss of man-hours and setback to the free flow of goods and services.
People consider the amount of time you spend along the road because of traffic. At times you spend 3-4 hours just to get from Asaba to Onitsha. So it discourages people.
On a rescue mission is the second Niger Bridge under construction, an iconic infrastructure of national integration and regional connectivity to further advance the economy of the eastern region and beyond.
So the socio-economic importance of it will boost, in fact, it will almost double the GDP of the two regions in the country, the southwest and the southeast.
The controller of works, Anambra State, Adeyemo Ajani, says 1.5 kilometers of the entire 1.6 kilometers of the main bridge has been achieved. The dismantling of the launching yard is in progress for the linking of the bridge to the access routes on both Asaba and Onitsha axes.
So remaining 90 meters to link together. So, but after this, we still have finishing, like the parapet, the surfacing, lightings and every other thing to put in place. We can walk across.
From the Asaba end, the access road stretching 3 kilometers has been completed. The 16 Bootstore Plaza and other ancillary buildings and facilities are at advanced stages of completion. The volume of traffic at the Obosi interchange stems from the ongoing construction work, which is being hastened to ensure that commuters in no distant time enjoy free flow of traffic. From all indications, there are high level of optimism that the 2022 delivery target of the entire second Niger Bridge will be a dream come true.
I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
The federal government, in collaboration with Akwa Ibom State government, has opened a poultry center in Uyo to improve livestock farming and poultry management for healthy consumption. Evelyn Badu-Ekpo reports that the poultry market will also serve as a training ground for professionals in poultry farming.
The groundbreaking ceremony for the Live Bird Center is a project of the federal government to enhance bird farming in Nigeria. Akwa Ibom State, which has been championing the cause of increased food and animal production, is one out of the 6 states in the 6 geopolitical zones chosen for the project. Commending the federal government for citing the project in Akwa Ibom State, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Glory Edet, renewed state government's commitment to take agriculture to an enviable height.
So I want to appreciate the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. It is only in Akwa Ibom State that you see the governor assist all categories of farmers.
The program, which is an annual initiative of the federal government with the Federal Department of Veterinary Services and Pest Control, is targeting improved light care and control of emerging diseases in bird farming.
The birds that we sell in our live bird market will be found to be fit for consumption. And all other protocol will be observed there to make sure that we don't have disease outbreak. Of course, why we have specifically a live bird market is to control the dreadful disease we had since 2006, avian flu.
The live bird market, on completion, will also serve as a training ground for professional live bird processing. In Uyo, Evelyn Badu-Ekpo, NTA News.
And from poultry farming, we head to sports with updates with Olalekan Kiajulu. Thank you, Olalekan Kilajulu. Sports Update concludes nationwide this beautiful Sunday. Do remember to keep supporting the NTA in its campaign against rape and rapists. And remember, there's a new COVID-19 variant, so be vigilant. I'm Naja Atutujani. Thanks for watching.